Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Minerals Live. We're all here today, safely bunkered away and guarded by the Marines.
Safe and secure.
In our little bubble of isolation.
That's right, and ready to sell you rocks because everybody needs a mineral during a pandemic.
There we are in the window.
And they were out of N95 masks, so he got something from somewhere.
That's right. Getting in the holiday spirit.
Yeah, like exactly. Yeah, we actually, what was interesting to me is Tucson.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Where there was a congregation of mineral collectors from all over the world. In fact, a lot of collectors from China were there and dealers from China.
Mm-hmm.
And we went through the whole multi-week experience. Not one single report of coronavirus there in Tucson. So mineral collectors appear to be somewhat immune to this virus.
We're either all asymptomatic, just infecting others, or we're just immune and you don't have to worry about it.
Right. Yeah. I think this is a new look for you, Phil.
I agree.
You like it? Yeah. Very stylish. Now, this thing is actually kind of hard to breathe through.
I bet it is. That's what I've heard.
Taking this off here.
Yeah, that's what I've heard these people say. That
not the most comfortable.
Not the most comfortable thing. No, and in all honesty, the company is very concerned about the coronavirus outbreak, and we have our own internal standards. Anybody who has the least bit of symptoms related to cold or anything, they're out. So we've all been working hard, very healthy.
Yep.
Getting ready for some exciting trips around the country, and of course we'll be abiding by the laws and the rules for travel across the United States as they modify.
Yes.
We may have a little harder time in finding a restaurant, finding a if you're used to having me take you out to dinner on some of these trips, it may be harder this time.
It may be Grubhub or DoorDash.
Yeah, exactly.
In your living room.
Exactly.
And we'll get the bill. Don't worry.
Yeah. and so we're excited about headed out on the road. I will leave on April 11th, heading to Texas and the Southeast, and hopefully up the East Coast to New York, New Jersey, and elsewhere. But there again, we're certainly concerned about this, and we're monitoring what's going on in each of the states and abiding by the rules and the laws of the states as we venture across the country. So we'd love to see you. If you have an interest in any one of the three of us stopping in and showing you mineral specimens, I'll be the first on the road from April 11th to about May 1st. Phil will go out after me back into the middle part of the U.S., Michigan, Illinois, Ohio, other states in the middle of the country, Missouri and others. And then after Phil's back in June, Richard will head west and see people out on the West Coast.
Yep, everything west of Denver.
Yep.
So.
Covering the whole country, and we have some great new minerals to show you guys. You know, if you do still want to visit and look at some great rocks, we have a couple exciting new acquisitions.
Yes, we do.
Some very fine old classics. We have some new finds as well, available in all price ranges. So
we just got a big batch of amethyst from Las Vegas, brand new batch. Got
Beautiful
a brand new
stuff.
batch of vanadinites from Morocco. We got a brand new batch of fluorites from the locality. They're beautiful blue with quartz
fluorites
association.
From the Shaoyang mine. I may be butchering that pronunciation, but it's in China. It's in Yangcheng County in Fujian, and that's where we've seen all kinds of beautiful fluorites the past few years. The so-called tanzanite fluorites are from there.
Now, instead of being these kind of sort of looking like dodeck crystals, cuboctahedral, that look a bit like dodecs, these are mostly cubic, little modifications on the edges, but they're quite lovely and not a tanzanite
nice
blue. They're
different.
They're kind of a blue-green, and they're really quite attractive. In fact, Phil just posted some on the Collector's Edge website.
Yeah, we got about a half dozen up on the website. So just go to collectorsedge.com, search by new, and you'll find about a half dozen of these fairly inexpensive, attractive new fluorites.
Yeah, we just had them photographed yesterday, I think, and that we've got more in the lab being processed, and they're very reasonably priced. We're
we'll have some
definitely
well.
aiming at that. Plus, if they're if you're locked up at home on a self-quarantine,
indeed,
feel free to look at our website.
Yeah, absolutely. USPS is still operating. FedEx is still operating.
Right.
So.
www.collectorsedge.com.
Yep.
You can go out and see our brand new feature on the website.
There it is.
We've got about
Final
12
call.
double keystone minerals on there right now, so 75% off. I'll be adding more this week, and there's over 600 minerals right now on the site. Everyone has a what we think is a nice photo, a nice description, and anything you see on there, if you want a video, if you want more information, you can just get a hold of myself or Richard or Steve. We'd be happy to help you.
Now, that Tanzanite we just showed, that is gone.
Both of these
that
are
guy
gone.
is gone. The Spessartine, I think, might still be
Still
available.
there? Okay.
Yeah.
We sold one Spessartine, but I think the other guy that's there is still available.
Okay. Yeah, but check that out. That has been extremely popular. We had a bunch of people going out to the 75% off section of our website.
Yep.
And if you want to see the very best of what we have in inventory or many pieces from it, you can go to reserve.collectorsedge.com.
Yep. And that's being updated as well here and there.
Yep. We added another 6 minerals last week, and we'll add some more this week. In fact, a lot of these are really, really special pieces, and we're starting to add some that are outstanding quality, but not quite as expensive as some of the earlier pieces that were out on the reserve. So, yeah, if you're collecting really fine minerals and you're watching Minerals Live, go check it out if you haven't been out to reserve.collectorsedge.com. It's really a beautiful site, and there is a gallery there that you can look at the pieces. And send me an email or call me 303-885-6885. I'll give you a price on anything on the page.
There you go. So,
well, we've got a few
little
rocks
goodies
today. We covered road trips. We covered the website.
Right.
We covered the developing situation.
Yeah, it really is developing
It's a whole
every
new
day.
paradigm.
It's a whole new paradigm.
We're in the same boat as all you watching, just
Right.
trying to figure it out day by day and stay healthy, stay safe, and offer you some great rocks while we're at it.
Yeah, the interesting thing has been that our website sales have actually been very strong during this period.
And I've heard from other friends who are, smaller internet sellers who do, websites and eBay and stuff, and all of them are saying that sales have been fairly good.
Yeah.
So I think that hopefully bodes well for the larger economy, that folks are still looking to add to their collection, and I think the moderate price points are going to be good as well in the future. So we're going to try to add more of that.
And we just added a new collection that we haven't really debuted yet, but we'll have it on the road with us. This is in the process of being cleaned, and pieces are being segregated as to which trip they're going to go out on. But there's some killer rocks in this new collection we've acquired. You'll definitely want to, if you're in any of the areas we're traveling through, and we cover just about the entire United States. Don't go to Alaska or Hawaii very often, but that is in Richard's zone.
That's a long drive, man. And Hawaii would be a real challenge.
Long ferry ride.
Yeah, it's hard to bring the van out there.
Yeah.
But anyway, we'd love to see you, and amongst all the new things we've been adding, in fact, within 2 weeks, there's a real good chance we're going to be picking up another collection as well. That'll hit both of their upcoming road trips.
Absolutely.
So things are popping. We've got lots of new minerals coming through the door. You'll definitely want to get a hold of us and see what we've got in the van.
There you go. So we do have 6 great minerals on the show today, and one of the features of today's show is we have a great promotion going on. Here we go. We are going to give away, don't tell the boss, we're going to give away 1 roll of toilet paper with each mineral sold on today's show.
Please cherish the use. Is that
That's
what that
right.
actually says
That
in
is,
Chinese?
I didn't run it by the wife. I trust the translation.
Cherish the use.
1 roll of toilet paper with each mineral sold.
Holy cow.
There's a deal.
That is a deal.
You don't have to run out to Costco.
And this particular piece appears to be Charmin.
This is Charmin.
Good stuff.
We're giving away good stuff.
We're not taking a single ply here.
No.
We got the real deal.
More
right.
Kush for
This
your tush.
you may sell out today, Richard.
I think so.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, if one person buys multiple pieces, I'm sorry, we do have to limit to one roll per customer.
Yeah, just
We
like
might be
your
able to
local,
get you one of these.
There you
just
go.
like your local grocery store, you're
Indeed.
limited to the quantity of the
More
toilet paper
rationing.
you
Right.
can have.
Yep.
All right.
So if you buy everything, maybe we'll give you 2.
Yeah, that's
all
for
right.
sure.
So anyway, without further ado, let's go to specimen number 1.
Let's do it.
Yep.
No.
This is a cool specimen.
It is a beauty.
You know, we mine these specimens and prepare all of the specimens that come from the Elk Creek area, Meade County, South Dakota. We're on the Smith Ranch, I believe it is.
Yep,
and
Smith property up there in South Dakota.
And they work with us on uncovering the concretions. We have diamond chainsaws up there that we cut into the concretions and kind of winnow them down, make sure they have a vug and some nice crystals, and then those come back for preparation at our lab. And it's incredible how talented our lab guys are in trimming these pieces. These are not trivial preparation actions because barite is very easily cleaved.
Yeah, and how big would you say these concretions are on average? 2, 3, 4 feet?
Yeah, some up to
sometimes
4
even bigger.
feet, 2, 3, 4 feet, and the internal openings within these concretions are not like a geode like you're used to seeing from Chihuahua, Mexico, or the cathedral geodes, where there's a nice big opening with, you can have some huge calcite crystals standing up in the middle of these cathedrals. They're really torturous vugs where there's a little opening. The calcite has come in and occurred around the inside of it, the bright yellow calcite, and then these amber-colored barite crystals, very gemmy, very lustrous, occur on the sides of these very small, narrow openings within the concretions. And it's amazing the number of spectacular specimens they get out of these concretions.
Right.
Each year, I would say we get about 10 great ones and maybe 20 or 30 good retail
ones.
specimens.
Right. Yep.
And that's about all we get from
Yeah.
months of work, many months of work, to harvest these things. So there's kind of a natural limitation on the annual production out of this area. And the concretions are only removed from the bank when they weather out. They're basically weathered out of a riverbank, and then they're harvested, opened up, and they have a big excavator out there to move these things around because they're quite heavy. But it's an amazing thing, and these are an American classic. The locality was in the top 50 localities in the American Mineral Treasures book and an exhibition down in Tucson some years ago. So they're really spectacular things. I would encourage you to strongly look at the piece Richard's featuring here today on Minerals Live.
Yeah, this crystal is exceptional in that it's isolated on matrix, and it's very gemmy and lustrous. And the vast majority of the Elk Creek barites don't have this intensity of gemminess or luster.
Right.
And there's really
Like
kind of
this
an
does.
interesting color zonation
Right.
here, too, with
Yeah.
the way it's been
A
photographed.
little bit of amber zoning
Yeah.
in the crystal.
Yeah,
Yep.
look at that
Good
luster
condition.
and
Yeah, it's
form.
beauty.
And I
It's-
think when you see the deal on this one, if you don't already have one of these, you're going to want to snag this for sure. because
Absolutely.
And this
a
is on a
stupid low
piece of
price.
plastic, but this is not a Sunnywood base
No,
for this
no.
piece. Because the price of the specimen today is about equal to the price of a
Yes.
Sunnywood
Might even
base.
be
So
less, yeah.
it might even be less. So anyway, what's the size of this one, Rich?
This specimen measures 5 by 7.2 by 6 centimeters.
So almost 3 inches across.
Yep.
And the individual barite crystal there is 3.5 centimeters, so bigger than an inch.
Yep.
A whole centimeter bigger than an
Yep.
inch. So just a spectacular thing. And as Richard's displayed for you, this is a great deal
It's
today.
a steal, literally.
Yep.
Especially considering the fact that you get
Oh my gosh.
Added value.
one roll of these.
We'll even wrap the
Charmin.
specimen in a little bit. Well, don't waste any.
Yeah. It's not the time to be wasting toilet paper.
Right. Yep.
If you only knew what goes on in our warehouse.
Yep. Right.
Mountains of rock wrapping.
Absolutely.
But seriously, folks, if you don't have an Elk Creek barite, this one is a silly good deal.
Yeah, it's really lovely.
Yep.
And great luster on it, too. I love
Really,
on the
it's true.
turntable, you can see how strong the luster is, and you can tell from Richard's great close-up photos how internally flawless, for the most part, this crystal is.
Absolutely.
Just really, really lovely. Great color,
And
great gemminess.
The fine print at the end of the spiel is that this piece is repaired. You can't even see it, but this piece is repaired.
Yep.
Just for full disclosure.
It's been well done. Very common with these. So.
Absolutely.
Specimen number two.
2. Moving on to Bunker Hill Mine.
Bunker Hill Mine. Yeah, this was really a bonanza that we were able to acquire from the Hopper family collection. Bob Hopper was the owner of the Bunker Hill Mine and mined many of these pieces personally. And this is another top 50 American mineral classic locality.
It is.
That, really these have become scarcer on the market.
And this is a beautiful piece, showing both the arsenic-rich pyromorphite on the bottom, that orange color, and the more traditional, more lead-rich, I'm guessing, typical pyromorphite above. And so you have somewhat of botryoidal development in the underlying area of the orange, and the nice prismatic hexagonal.
Great contrast
prisms.
with the two habits of the pyromorphite and two colors.
And quite excellent condition on this piece. And again,
Very
this
good.
is not a small piece. What's the size of this one, Rich?
This one measures 3.5 by 5.5 by 4 centimeters.
And the longest of the pyromorphites on this piece measures 1 centimeter in length. So what would you say the average is? More like about 5 to 7
millimeters.
millimeters.
That really nice coverage, and that two-tone color combination is
love
really
it.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Not many of these had this really well-defined two-tone kind of color going on.
Yeah, it's quite lovely. Bunker Hill Mine, Idaho. What are we getting for this beautiful miniature-sized piece today?
Oops, sorry. Give it one last look on the turntable. Go back. Here we go. Sorry. $525.
That's a wonderful price.
Yeah, great deal for one of these classics.
Because it's 5.5 centimeters across as you're looking on the tube there. So right about 2 inches, a little over 2 inches. So just a really lovely miniature-sized specimen, a classic American locality. You should seriously look at this one.
Snag that for sure.
Great luster on the
And unlike
pyromorphite
Elk
as
Creek,
well.
they're not making any more of these.
Right.
What's out there is
Right.
out there, and I think these are only going to become scarcer in the future.
Right.
I think so too.
Yeah.
They may never mine here again.
Right.
They have a whole boatload of problems.
Yeah.
So
Legal issues. Anyway, moving on to specimen number trace.
wonderful tourmaline from the Malkin pegmatite field in Russia. Really wonderful cranberry red tourmalines.
Wonderful color and very gemmy too. You know, when we got this lot of these wonderful tourmalines, some of the small crystals like this were actually the gemmiest.
They were.
And the top of this crystal is really almost facet quality, very transparent, rich kind of wine red color that you only get in a handful of rubellite localities
Right.
around the world.
Highly lustrous both on the termination and the prism faces. Nicely color zoned on this particular piece too. It is a real cranberry red, and then it looks like it goes to a little bit of a nearly not colorless, but a lighter pink zone through the center. And occasionally, I don't know if this one has it, but occasionally towards the bottom they'll even get a little green. This one may not have that.
No.
But really lovely terminated and highly lustrous crystal from the Malkin deposit.
Pretty little crystal.
And this is a closed locality as well.
It's basically mined out at this point. From everything we've talked about partners about, and we've heard from folks involved in that. This is kind of a done deal.
You assisted in the writing of the article, did you?
I did, yeah. I was fortunate to be involved in that project in the past 2 years or so with two of our mining partners and collectors over in the Czech Republic, and that was a really cool project to work on just to see the extent of the deposit and some of the really world-class pieces like our Trident piece, which a lot of you have seen that have been found. And you know, similar to the Jonas and the Cruzeiro and a lot of these famous rubellite finds, there was a bonanza and then there was none.
None. No.
How was the deposit first encountered?
It was originally discovered by some Soviet geologists, actually, back in, I think, the World War II era. They were sent out on prospecting missions, all across what was the Soviet Union at that time, and they were looking for uranium and rare metals, and they found these pegmatite outcrops. Some of these outcrops spectacularly, similar to Brazil. There were 100-foot long, ridges of outcropping quartz and feldspar and stuff, and they just started digging. But what's interesting with Malkin is the really high quality crystals didn't start coming out until about the past 15, 20 years, and that was a consequence of doing more targeted specimen mining and understanding the value of recovering crystals and not just gem rough. This is common with many gem localities that originally, sadly, a lot of stuff bites the dust or gets turned into cut stones. And only later do they realize the importance of preserving these kind of crystals.
Yeah, and our partners that were working with us on this project, they were telling us how highly prized the gem rough was from this locality. You get some great cranberry red tourmalines faceted from here.
Very rich color.
Very rich color.
But this little crystal, thankfully, did not go to cutter's wheel.
And you can see the great luster on it as it turns around on the turntable. It's just flashing at you every time another face catches you on the termination. It's quite lovely.
And this guy is kind of in the toenail range, I guess. This is about 3.5 centimeters by 1.3 by 1.1. So not quite a miniature, not quite a thumbnail. It's in that in-between range that is highly collectible.
And this color is a bit hard to photograph. In person, it's slightly less magenta than I'm seeing it on the screen. It's more towards the cranberry red color. So I think you'll be surprised when you get this in your hands when it arrives to you. Please go ahead and get a hold of us at minerals@collectorsedge.com. Richard will go ahead and send this out to you so you can examine it in person. The condition is very good, and the color is very bright, and I think you'll be very pleased with it. And you're asking only a reasonable price on this one today.
Just $9.95.
That's great.
$100,000.
And toilet paper.
And free roll of Charmin. Look at the size of that roll. It's a double roll, too, folks.
Holy cow. We spare no expense.
That's your skimpy single roll. We're here for you. Taking care of your needs.
There you
That's
go.
right.
Anyway, moving on. Specimen number 4.
Number 4.
Yep.
These are really cool. Urmiavite.
This is a really a rare thing that we've been lucky to get quite a few really nice examples of from Morongo. So there's 2 localities for these Urmiavites. The first ones came from a spot they called mile marker 72, which was, I think, just a pegmatite that outcropped in a road.
And right near the beach.
It was near
Brian,
the ocean, right?
Brian collected there.
Oh,
he
really?
He was over there mining those things.
Cool.
Yeah. So that first find, Brian was directly responsible for producing a number of the crystals that came out of that. We weren't on this particular deposit, other than the fact that we acquired as many as we possibly could, because we know how highly prized Urmiavite is by collectors. It reminds you a lot in some of the formations of a burl crystal, not too dissimilar in chemical composition, but it is a unique species, and it's only found in a few places around the world. This one's really cool because these were associated with shoral crystals and often found kind of inside the shoral crystals at this what is it?
Kind of encased in this fibrous shoral matrix, unusual matrix. And this is from Morongo, so also in Namibia. It's a spot called the Mhmm Farm. And it's produced a number of these nice gemmy Urmiavites, and we've really been lucky to get what I think is the best representation that I've seen of this material.
And a number of very small terminations there.
The mini ice dragon.
This is etched, but it's the type of etching you see in like Ukrainian barrels where they're still lustrous. You know, it doesn't detract necessarily from the crystal, the fact that it's etched. Still gemmy on the inside.
And a very bright color.
Great blue.
So many of the earlier Urmiavites from the coastal deposit in Namibia there were some blue ones, but most of them were colorless. And so this deposit was really cool because they formed really nice crystals with good luster, and in this case, this kind of solution etched appearance, but great color and good luster. And on matrix. where the stuff on the coastline was not. For the most part, there may have been one or two clusters.
A lot of them were loose, I think,
they were loose for the most part. Just bags of loose crystals. So cool stuff.
Yep. Nice little thumbnail, and it's just $625 today.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I encourage you folks to go out and look what's on the market for something like this. These are really tough to get, and to get a really high quality thumbnail like this.
And the overall height of this is 2.8 centimeters, but the Mhmm itself is 2.2 centimeters in length. So it's a nice big crystal. If you're, as Richard said, a thumbnail collector and want to add a Mhmm to your collection, this is the one for you.
Absolutely. Well, this brings us to specimen number 5.
Number 5.
A U.S. classic.
That's right. Coming back to the States for this one.
Yep.
I love this piece.
Yeah,
me too.
I've always loved this locality and this material. This is one of my favorite American mineral localities, the Kelly Mine for these wonderful blue smithsonites.
Was this out of Pellman's, or whose collection was this?
It's Pellman.
Yeah, this was out of Roz and Norm Pellman's collection from Arizona. And just a wonderful complete little reniform mass of the smithsonite from the Kelly mine.
Good color, good luster, and that's that classic Kelly blue color that you really don't get at that many other places. Very, very recognizable.
Yeah. A lot of people build color suites of smithsonite, and the classic blue that they add to their color suites are these wonderful smithsonites from the Kelly mine. If you were at all familiar with Roz and Norm Pellman's collection, they had superb taste. They had one of the most beautiful collections in the country, and it was displayed in a spectacular fashion in their home. They had cases on either side of an enormous picture window that looked out to some Arizona mountains, and so you'd have the curtains and whatnot. I think it was mechanical.
Yes. Very dramatic.
Dramatic.
Yeah.
It was.
So this is in Tucson where you lived?
Yeah, it was south of Tucson.
Just south, Green Valley.
Green Valley area. But incredible place. Both their home and the collection was incredible. And this is a piece from that collection, and you're going to die when you see how inexpensive
we got the label as well.
We even still have the label.
We've got the original label.
Number 149.
There we go.
Doesn't really focus too well, but
it has a little crystal barrel on as their logo.
Yep.
Yeah, nice handwritten label.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And smithsonite from the Kelly Mine, Socorro County, New Mexico. Just a fabulous specimen in wonderful condition, great color, great luster, as Phil has mentioned. And what's the overall size of this, Rich?
Overall, it's 3.6 by 3.3 by 2.2 centimeters.
Okay, so kind of a toenail size specimen.
Right. Yep.
The smithsonite is 1.8 centimeters across?
Across the top there.
The top.
That top sphere.
Okay, all right.
3D little piece.
Yep.
Super.
It is. I love it with a little kind of matrix look to it.
And hold on to your seats, folks.
This is a steal price today. Just $375.
$375. And Richard will send it out to you at no cost to you.
That's right.
On approval. So he'll send that piece out to you. He doesn't charge you for the outbound leg of the shipment.
Nope.
And I don't know what the percentage of returns is, but it's close to zero.
In the 10 years we've been doing this, it's less than 5.
Less than 5 in 10 years.
I think it's like 3 or 4.
Okay. Wow. So I think you'll be pleased with this. Richard has a great eye. He selects all of the pieces and photographs them for the show. And if he's picked it, it's a nice specimen. So you can rest easy asking him to ship this to you, and I think you'll be very happy when you see this piece.
Yep.
Very pretty.
Yep. If you wanted to snag 2 American Mineral Classics for well under $1,000, you could get the Smithsonite and the Barrett. So don't be afraid to combine orders.
That's right.
We can do that too.
What about the Pyromorphite?
And the Pyromorphite. That's 3. Yeah.
But you're limited to 2 rolls of toilet paper.
That's it, yep.
We're rationing that.
You're right.
It may affect the whole sales function here.
You're right.
Well, if it's a good
care of our
customer.
needs.
We'll throw you the third one.
Get you a leaf face mask or something.
All right. So,
But if you return the mineral, you have to return the roll of toilet paper too.
that's a risky. That's a risky propaganda there. All right.
Anyways,
Yep. Moving on to last.
we're ending on a familiar theme here.
Last but not least, specimen number 6.
And this is from a very small pocket. It's
Yes.
called the American pocket. It was in the fluorite rays.
Okay.
And there were just a handful of specimens out of this pocket. This
Interesting.
was not... the fluorite rays was one of the most prolific areas for great specimen production in the Sweet Home mine.
What era would that have been approximately?
It was from 98. The first pocket was found in 98.
Okay.
And it ended about 2001. It was through 2000.
Okay.
And right into early 2001, I think they threw in the towel on it because they basically topped out in that fluorite rays area,
Yep.
just 10 or 15 feet below where the Detroit City mine picks up on the same veins.
Gotcha.
So where we're currently mining in the Detroit City mine, or will be again mining in about a month, they're going to open the Detroit City once again for mining. Though that series of that vein that was going up, and they were mining the fluorite rays pockets was where they're currently focused on mining in the Detroit City mine, and great color. The pockets there in the fluorite rays had wonderful cherry red color, super luster. That was the one consistent thing about the pockets there. You almost never had any solution etching of the crystals in that section of the vein. It was almost every pocket was brilliant luster, and it did have some. We called it the fluorite rays because there were pockets that had fluorites associated with the rhodo there in that section, more than in other sections. In fact, some of the pockets had fluorite crystals that were, 2.5 inches across. So
That's a nice combination.
yeah. So anyway, this is a beautiful little piece.
Yep.
What's the size of this one, Rich?
This specimen measures, let me get it over here so people don't see me reading, 1.6 by 1.5 by 8 millimeters.
And I really like it on the turntable here because it kind of gives you a scale.
Yeah.
It's a thumbnail,
Yep.
and it's 1.6 centimeters maximum dimension.
Right.
But in some ways the close-up it gets so close in you can't really tell what size you're looking at here. The turntable kind of gives you a perspective on the overall size of the piece. And the little fluorites that are stacked up on top of the roto-ROM are 4 millimeters maximum dimension.
Maximum, yep. Most of them are like 1 to 2.
But this picture, you can see how really wonderfully gemmy that particular rhombohedron of rhodochrosite is.
Yeah, really sweet little thumbnail at
is.
a sweet price. I know a lot of you folks out there collect thumbnails or prefer thumbnails, and if you don't have a Sweet Home Rhodo thumbnail and you're on a budget, I think this is going to be an ideal specimen for you.
Yeah, it really
super
is.
Cute. Yep. And the price is super cute as well.
It is.
I mean, why? Without further ado, let's get there, folks. $175 for a thumbnail rhodo and a roll of toilet paper. Oh my God!
Can't beat it.
You can't beat it.
You may get people saying, "Just send me the roll of toilet paper
For $175."
Keep the road.
Yeah, keep the rhodo.
Bonus.
Okay, we'll reverse
maybe
it.
start cross marketing
Yeah.
on eBay or something.
Yeah,
there.
if you buy everything, maybe we'll even throw in a Purell bottle or something.
There you go. I don't know about. You got to run that one by Brian. Just authorizing the toilet paper promotion was a little bit of an ordeal. Do an inventory. See what we got.
In any case, we're really thrilled that you tuned in to watch us today.
Thank you for watching.
We've been on more than 10 years doing this.
Yeah.
So
Coming up on 11.
Coming up on
Wow.
11.
Yeah.
Cool.
This May.
Isn't that something?
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And keep checking that website and stay tuned. Any developments that we have as far as what's going on here or trips, we'll be in touch and we'll make sure that you're the first to know.
Yep.
And the other thing I would encourage you to do, and a lot of people do that with us, if you're looking for something in particular, like I'm going to do a little Excel spreadsheet here in a few minutes of imperial topaz for a customer. If you have something you're looking for, whether it's a Schwann spawning rhodochrosite or an imperial topaz or a tourmaline from the Himalaya mine, send Phil or Richard or me a request, minerals@collectorsedge.com, and we would be more than happy to generate a printout of what we have in inventory and the net prices for those specimens. We'll give you the best price we can on each of them. There'll be a little thumbnail photo so you can get an idea of the character of the piece, the aesthetics of the piece, and I think you'll be really pleased that you did it. It's a good way to go shopping and get. We have such a huge inventory that for almost anything you're looking for, even a Wittigenite, we can send you a photograph of what we have in inventory and the sizes of the piece, and get that information out to you right away. So please feel free to do that. We're happy to do it.
Absolutely. Well, it's time to go back into our little bubble.
Yeah, there we are. We're all safely in the 490 Orchard compound. So the rest of you should be envious of our high security.
That's right. So we'll catch you all next week on another edition of Minerals Live.
Thanks
for watching, everybody.